Hey guys, welcome back to another first impressions video. I just got out of seeing Petite Maman, I think that's how you say it, the name of the movie. Um, Directed by Celine Sciamma. I think I butchered that last name. I'm sorry. She directed a Portrait of a Lady on Fire, which I absolutely loved. Just from a visual medium and from a narrative point of view, I thought it was just super solid. Like I think it was one of the best films I saw that particular year. It was just stunning to me, particularly from a visual medium. I got this nice glare going, by the way. There we go. Um, so just based on the director alone, I just decided to drive all the way out here to the Angelica Theater and check it out. And it's definitely a um, softer than I expected. I think that's probably the best term for it. I do think that the first things that I'll say is that it's definitely um, following up from Portrait of Lay on Fire. It's definitely visually striking. There's some really gorgeous shots of the woods, and the way that she utilizes color, I think, is very impressive. Just so highlighted and pronounced, and I think that it really um, adds more to the landscape and the atmosphere surrounding it. Um, Here, though, I think it's actually an interesting contrast because the bright colors completely contradict the atmosphere that is being set up. Because it's surprisingly a little bit haunting, a little bit ghostly. I mean, that's the without spoiling anything. That's kind of the atmosphere that you're getting. This kind of haunting and ghostly like atmosphere. But then it's also kind of down to earth because the people that you're following are little kids. So it's this interesting blend of charm, um, but uh, and uncertainty. Um, so I think tonally speaking, it's uh, very nice, and visually, I think that it's just very striking. Where I think the film starts to suffer a little bit for me is narratively, um, because the concept is great. I'll just put it that way. The idea of what this is great. I think that the execution is not as smooth as I would have wanted it to be. Um, I picked up on it fairly quickly. Like the way that they introduce the other, because it follows two little girls. Um, how we get introduced to the second girl, the way that they just visually represent that, I think that it really showed their hand as to what this girl is meant to be in the story. I thought it was pretty obvious, and because of that, the movie is like kind of teasing with you a lot, and you're like, we already know, you know, and I feel like that was I wouldn't say poorly judged, but I think that subtleties there, especially for that particular scene, that particular moment when these two girls meet, um, should have been there absolutely, because instead it was very obvious to me, like extremely obvious as to what she's supposed to be. Um, so, but oddly enough, once the movie confirms those suspicions, what you personally think, because what you think at first is exactly what it is. Um, but once the movie confirms that to you, oddly enough, that's when the resonance starts. Like that's when I started to feel the weight of what I'm watching. Because the whole time I was definitely charmed by it, and I was definitely, from a visual point of view, quite impressed. Um, but narratively, I just felt kind of distant. And again, strangely enough, just when the movie like finally like confirms, those ideas that you have in your head, um, the resonance and the weight is felt, because now you start to pick up on more details, and you get to understand a little bit more of the dynamic, and the conversations start to become um, more more meaningful. And like there's literally one moment where the two girls have like a certain type of conversation, and this is after the revelation of the film. And at one point I just went, oh, okay, like one of those types of moments. Um, and again, it's just really strange to me that it's like after the revelation. You know, usually after the revelation, you're just like, okay, well, I kind of know everything now. Um, it was just a very strange response, you know, to hearing it. You know, I was like, okay, like the entire time, like I knew what was going on, and then towards the end, like I think it was like 20 minutes until the end, or like there's like 20 minutes left of the film. The movie then decides to tell you what it's about, and you know the certain dynamic and what it means, and it's just weird how I started to get like more drawn in and more emotional because of it. It was a very strange thing. Um, but like I said, it's not as um, like I think that just because of that one moment, the way it was executed, I feel that it kind of diminished a good portion of the film because again, you just feel kind of distant because the movie decided to show its hand early on, and you're just kind of like you're still finding bits that are great, but it's it's the story that is lacking, you know, or is not being subtle enough. Um, so I don't think it's better than Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I think Portrait of a Lady on Fire is narratively a lot more satisfying and um, um, I think visually also better. I mean, this is still pretty like this is still a gorgeous movie, but I think Portrait of a Lady on Fire wins on that one as well. Um, it's it's good. I wouldn't say it's great though. Um, I think it's better than a lot of other films that I've seen recently. Um, but comparing it to her previous work, um, and just on its own merits, I think that like again, it's visually strong. The child performances, by the way, are great. These two little girls are excellent. I mean, even though you know what's going on, these performances keep you engaged. They are so good. These two little girls are excellent. I forgot to mention that. Um, so you got two really great performances by these two little girls. Visually, it's still quite striking. Not as great as Portrait of a Lady on Fire, but still quite striking. Um, and the atmosphere again, it's just this nice mixture of like haunted vibes and ghostly vibes and this innocence because you have childs and these children as the leads. Um, this charm, you know, it has like this nice mixture to create a certain type of atmosphere. I just wish that the movie was more subtle at the beginning so that I didn't already know what was going on, you know? Because if I didn't know what was going on and that revelation happened, like I feel like I might have had a different response. But since I already knew, that's purely like again, I really think that the movie just needed to be more subtle. It's not just the fact that I watched so many movies. I just think that the movie itself needed to be extremely more subtle with that particular moment. Just the way like the camera was set up and everything, it just felt very obvious to me. Um, so um, if if they were more subtle with that moment, I think that the movie would have resonated a lot more for me. Um, but it's a good piece. It's like I said, a lot better than a lot of other pieces I've seen lately. Um, so I would still recommend that you guys check it out. It's just I hope that you don't pick up on. Uh, I hope you don't pick up on it as early as I did because it may or may not uh, uh, diminish your viewing experience. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Petite Maman. I think that's how you say it. You guys let me know if you guys saw it. The few of you who saw it, there was like two people in the theater. You guys go check it out and see for yourselves. But good film. Uh, I would I would probably say a solid film. I just think that narratively, I wish I I wish I wish I didn't pick up on that one thing as early as I did. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the film. Hope you guys go check it out. And until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video.